My name is Harriet and you're welcome to the chat zone on youth.com. Now today we'll be discussing the availability or lack of availability of PHCN generated power supply in Nigeria and its effects on our social economy. And to do this today with me I have Aziz and I have Bolade.
Hello viewers.
Temi Wright.
Hello viewers.
And Mr. Egosa, a businessman.
Hi.
Okay guys, welcome to the show. So I'm starting with you, Mr. Egosa. How would you rate the level of PHCN generated electricity in the country? How would you rate it?
Well, if you look at the population and what is being generated now, and I'll use my business as
an example.
As an example, it is not encouraging. In the sense that you find out that you are more or less generating your own power.
Yeah.
And you generate your own power using generators. You need to maintain the generators. You need to buy diesel. It doesn't allow for planning. So basically, it's on the negative in terms of rating the availability of PHCN generated electricity or power supply from the government as we should rightly have it.
Okay, so Bola, did you agree with him? What do you have to say to that?
Well, I will completely agree with him. However, before we came here, I asked a couple of friends and they think it's getting better.
Really?
Wow.
Really?
Yes. Some people think it's getting better. I'm sure people like me.
When you say getting
see
better,
the getting better,
when you say getting better, how do you mean?
Like because of the elections,
yeah,
quite a number of areas had electricity.
Because of the elections, not because...
Because of the election, from my own
Maybe
perspective.
You
from another...
Tell me, what did you say to that?
Yeah.
Well, getting better, that's relative. Say it's like someone who has a whole loaf of sliced bread and they take the whole loaf from you and then give you one slice. And then later on they give you 3. And you're like, wow, this is so much. So it's more like you've had it, it's been denied you. Now what is your entitlement? They give you a tip of the iceberg and then you're excited, but the reality is it's really bad. When you compare the power situation in Nigeria to other countries, say Ghana. Fine, Ghana has had, you know, a history of constant power, but right now it's not as good as it used to be. But even still, Ghana's power beats Nigeria down at a rate of 300 kilowatts hour of power a year. Nigeria only has 100. Wow. That is very, very bad. So, you know, we're at a point where we're depraved and we cannot say we have good power. Like he said, you don't have power, you have to generate your own power. So when you talk about PHCN generated power, it's almost getting to that point that it's at 0. Fine, they might have done a little bit of distribution, made some parts of the nation, you know, enjoy, you know, just give them a little and let them shut up. That's what I see it as.
Okay,
not
so,
like we have anything.
Aziz, how do you think it has affected the youth and employment and everything? What
if you ask me, I don't see them doing anything because where I come from.
As in,
now
your shirt is actually rumpled, so
no, now you can imagine, you know, and I'm coming from home. You don't get to see this PHCN generated power. Anyway. We don't get to see it at all. Even when they try to give it to us, they bring it at midnight and it barely shows in the bulb.
Candle is better, right?
The candle is better, you know. It's not even as bright. It's not even 220.
So how has Mr. Egosa, how has it affected your business generally?
About affecting the business, it has affected it negatively.
Wow.
Negatively to the extent that we have 3 generators.
Wow.
3?
Yes, one 100 kVA, we have 65 kVA, and we have a 24 kVA.
Okay.
Now, because we're into food, you do not want your freezers to defrost for any reason. So it means there has to be power.
All the time.
So we have times when for weeks we don't have light, so we have to alternate these generators. So you can imagine, and you have a situation where the price of diesel is not constant. You cannot transfer that directly to the consumers or your customers. You do that, it will be another problem because your consumers or customers do not want to get any price increase. They want best every time. They
so
want,
even the profits you're supposed to be making,
in fact,
buy
diesel, so you can imagine we spend
discounts, right?
We spend an average of 25,000 a day on diesel.
Wow. A day?
Yes, and we open 7 days a week. So you can imagine what that does to the business. Now, it's not every day a business makes profit. If you break it down to the, in fact, per day profitability of a business. And whether you have people eating or not, whether you have one customer or 10 or 20, the lights must be on.
Yeah.
You can't say the light shouldn't be on. And it's something that I think it's not about PHCN. I don't think it's about NEPA. It's about lack of planning and foresight.
Okay.
So when we as a nation or as a people or as an institution like PHCN feel it was NEPA, now PHCN, it doesn't matter what the name is or what you call it, but I believe that there are systems and structures and people who work within these organizations, and these people are Nigerians.
Sorry, but now we're trying to see if there's any way we can, should I say help, in any way we can, as youth coming together, talk about this and see. It's whether I would like it or not, this PHCN thing is a social nuisance. Really, it is. A lot of companies are leaving the country.
That's like Michelin.
So what? Yeah, Michelin, Dunlop. So what ideas do we have? Do we think we could give to the government to help in? We use hydro, right? And raining season. We understand during dry season there's no light and everything, but raining season there shouldn't be an excuse. So what ideas do you think we could give to them, to the government?
Well, I think we should not solely or mostly rely on the dams. This is Nigeria, where we have a very hot weather.
Yes.
And the sun is very useful to us. So why don't we conserve the energy during the day and then make use of it at night? That's
so
both conserve and use it at the same time. You can, as you are conserving, you're also using in the daytime.
Exactly.
I think to even help, because you mentioned the issue of helping out, it's for us to get more responsible as a people. If you go to a PHCN office, the man who is sitting on the desk should take your complaint and act on it.
They will tell you that they don't have lights there.
No.
You have to send your bill.
I was going to say that.
Yes.
No, seriously, the bills keep coming in and it's annoying.
No, but you know that a person who is going to complain there should have paid the bill to an extent. You see somebody who has not paid 70,000 naira bill, and then the person thinks,
see, why would they want to pay? Wait,
we don't get lights.
Excuse me, but really, why do
even when we don't get lights?
No, trust me. Listen, as much as
the bills are outrageous.
No. As much as we do not get PHCN generated power, I will use again my business as a case study. It is still, the cost of it is far cheaper than diesel to start with.
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Secondly, because we use prepaid,
prepaid does pay.
It is better for us.
But that prepaid it's not being distributed to everybody.
No,
it's not everybody.
No.
Yes.
I'm not
doesn't go around.
I'm just trying to say that, you see, it's good that we sit here and condemning PHCN, but it's about the people. It's about the fundamental and the structure that's been set up.
What do you think the people can actually do?
Yes, it's about,
apart from generate power on their own.
the people are actually part of the community. The people make up the community. The people who work in PHCN are part of this community. They have homes.
Okay.
I'm saying that beyond everybody just condemning PHCN, the people who constitute the government, who are part of the community as well, I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The people who constitute the users on the road who get drunk before, when they're not supposed to get drunk, and knock down poles. Those who go and try and steal PHCN cables. Those who try to tamper with their bills or their meters. This is all part of it. So even if we are talking about PHCN getting it right, it's also of us getting it right, paying your bills. There are some people, there are some areas PHCN I'm sure, I read in the papers the other day, they had a problem and PHCN was to disconnect light in one community and they beat up the PHCN.
The official.
They beat up but that is barbaric. You don't do that. But be that it may, I think it's for us to have a responsive government and to plan effectively.
About the fact that they're trying to privatize PHC,
that may be the case.
Yeah, that is what is happening now. We can only hope to get better.
No, it will.
Really,
I'm sure it will work because anywhere you.
You know, sir, it gets the bad part too. You know, when you privatize it, because now it's a capitalist approach to it. It's not really about just serving the people anymore. The person who is coming into business is expecting returns.
Yeah.
When it became PHCN, we expected it to get better.
Yes,
and now we are saying it will get better again.
No, once you privatize, like he has said, even if you see it as a capitalist approach, it's a service that will be rendered, and the man who has invested his money expect returns and he will deliver his service. Exactly. And it will ensure that you pay your bills.
It's just like the phone, the mobile phone connections and stuff.
I think as much as we'd like to talk more on this, we have to round up right here and hope for a better tomorrow when it comes to PHCN. So what's the last things like to say to the youth or the government?
Well, for the youths, don't just blame, see what you can do for this great country, Nigeria. For the government, get more responsible and plan for the future. Okay,
Timmy.
My stance is still we have to all put hands together and think of other ways through which we can, generate powers. Okay. All these generators, other things that people use. There was some young people sometime who had to face the same problems that have put minds together to, create ideas. There are young people that come up with these ideas, so we need to think of ways that we can help ourselves.
Aziz?
Well, I would say if we as a people get responsible and we play our parts right, then I don't think we'll be having this discussion right now. We all need to just get responsible from the government, and they are part of the
So it's a collective responsibility.
Let everybody just get responsible. The driver that gets drunk and knocks off poles, caution.
Okay, well, I'll just say, when you're leaving your house, remember to turn off all the bulbs, because that way you are helping conserve energy that can actually go into the next building.
All right, thank you guys for coming on the show. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you, Aziz, and thank you, Bolade. All right, that's it for today on the Chat Zone. You heard them. For the government, we need to plan for tomorrow. We, as youth, we need to help. Okay, we need to take collective responsibility. We need to help. We don't need to blame the government all the time. Okay, my name is Harriet. This is the Chat Zone. Don't go away. We'll be right back with more for you on news.com.